everyone, and welcome back to Possessed Radio. And as always, I'm your host Steven, and today's stories are a bit different. I'm actively working with pandemic patients right now, and unable to be home on a regular basis to record due to safety concerns. So I'm making this short and sweet to say, thanks for your support, and more is coming, but I'm currently limited. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subs, and I can't thank you all enough. So I wanted to release a few of my writings to you. I have tons, but these are some of my favorites. A handful of creepy poems to tide you over while I work through life, and to say that more is on the way. I really hope you enjoy and continue to support my endeavors here at Possessed Radio. So thanks again for listening. Take care, and as always, keep the lights off. This first poem I wrote on a particularly hot evening, wandering the cemeteries of St. Augustine, Florida. This is titled Yellow Jack. It came from Havana. It brought mosquitoes on the attack. The citizens fell daily, and they all feared Yellow Jack. The heat, it was unbearable. The rain, it fell all day. The people, they were worried, for death surely came their way. Amidst all of their sorrow, a long Savior awoke. His name was Father Black, a good self-righteous bloke. He performed their last rites. He comforted their dead. He was devoted to his duty. He never left his stead. One day a corpse rumbled from inside a coffin that was black. Oh, how the townspeople screamed. He didn't succumb to Yellow Jack. To ease their morbid worries, fingers were affixed to a bell. Despite the doctor's claims, a simple movement could always tell. When the people's courage wavered in the cemetery of the dead, Father Black volunteered. The graveyard shift was his new stead. Oh, how the people loved him. For his job, he should always keep it. But what the people never knew was that Father Black had a secret. He had traveled across the country, taking refuge where he could. But Father Black was no father, nor did he accomplish any good. So at night when the people were sleeping, and Father Black heard the bell, he'd dig them up so quickly, just to beat them back to hell. While the people prayed to God to spare them from Yellow Jack, they should have feared their clergy, the killer known as Father Black. I've always been a fan of those cautionary fairy tales. The old ones, the brutal ones, with really dark stories to them. And so I hope you enjoy. This second one is called Hunting Beasts. When the church bells rang, the children put down their books. They never gave any second looks. They ran out the doors to cut through the wood. There they would play in the field where the lone cabin stood. The huntsman watched the windows with blades clutched in hand, trying to keep sight of the old shrouded man. The hunters said the old man wasn't allowed to come out anymore. They warned the children never to go toward his door. The man locked inside becomes a terrible beast. Heed our warnings or become his feast. The children would laugh, and then they'd boo. But what they didn't know is that some fables are true. So one day while the parents toiled with hay, the children ran to the cabin to continue to play. The old man stepped forth with toys in hand. He smiled so gently, so nobody ran. He urged them to come forth, to speak at the least. When they got close, he unleashed the beast. A chorus of screams frantically let out. The parents never heard over the laborious bout. When the first was devoured, they ran through the scare. The beast was approaching, jagged fangs and coarse hair. The child's legs carried them shortly till their fall. Sadly pure hearts, damned each and all. When the parents found the corpses, they sought for revenge. At their hands, the beast would face its murderous end. The townsfolk cheered when the beast was slain. Only when injured, he fought through the pain. The people had chose to nurse him for a while, until he and his coarse hair were cast into exile. Because when hunting beasts, only one thing stands true. There's always another. Just pray it's not you. Now, our final tale, oddly enough, has nothing to do with this modern sickness, but I have always been fascinated with the history of the Black Plague. This third poem is titled, Some Things Are Worse Than Death. I am a doctor amidst the plague. A beaked mask keeps me safe from miasma. But the bodies pile higher with every day, and then the blaze burn like fiery magma. I have traveled far from home, seeing through a crystal lens. I have seen the loss of loved ones, and I have seen the loss of friends. I've missed my wife for quite some time, as I've traversed this death-filled zone. I can no longer stand the tears. I need so badly to not be alone. A woman cries upon the ground, before an empty swing. There are no children playing. There are no songs to sing. A mutt whimpers before a mass grave. The owners are unknown. The dog is clutching a treat so tightly, but that is not a heifer's bone. I pounded on the wooden door. It was marked with a cross that was red. A child cried out at my feet. Her parents were long since dead. No longer can I tend the sick. We've been forsaken in this life. No longer do I beg for help. I pray only for my wife. When I reached home, I ran inside. I sprinted to give her a hug, but her behavior was so frantic, she pulled away with a violent shrug. My mask filled with tears when I first noticed. Pus-filled buboes plagued her skin. Her face looked oh so weathered, and her breaths were fast and thin. I pondered my travels, removing my mask, to face a death that is worse than the stone. And I said with a smile as I pulled my wife closer, there's nothing worse than being alone.